I had an idea for a presentation format earlier on today. Actually, I was in the shower after a workout. I was thinking I must write this down as soon as I get out. I forgot, but then I remembered later on, and all I wrote down was Japanese 60 seconds, because I knew that that would remind me of this particular presentation format. The reason I was thinking about it was because, and I'll come back to that because it's completely inaccurate anyway, but it was still a good prompt for me to kind of research it and check it out, and I think it could work really well. But I was asked to give a kind of a list, I suppose, of the things that I talk about for the wellbeing consultancy that I have done. I haven't done any work for them yet, actually, but there's some interesting things coming up, and I've got a webinar delivery in September. The thing for next month didn't come off in the end. Spoke about that just the other day. But they have lots of opportunities, lots of potential opportunities coming up. And so I spoke to another one of the ladies there, and just a couple of days ago, and she said that she would like a kind of a list, a menu, just a very brief outline of the different topics and different speeches and presentations that I can give. Now, at the moment, as I explained to her, it's all pretty bespoke. I've got a couple of talks that I could rework to a client's brief, but essentially keep the same framework, the same format. But ultimately, I've got like a bunch of ideas of things I could produce content around, and I would just do that, and I would work the speech writing process. I'd do all the things that I've done for the talks I've given so far. So she was happy with that. So I sent her over a half a dozen different ideas earlier on today, and so I guess that must have been on my mind. And when I was in the shower, I just suddenly had this this idea for doing. They're called. Not, I want to say Machu Picchu, but that's not what it is. It's Catcher Picture or something like that. I can't remember what it is. I'll find out, and I'll put it in the link in the description of the video, because I'm not going to stop the video and go find out. I'll come back to it. But essentially what it is a Japanese format. It's not actually made by Japanese people. It's a couple of, I think, British architects who were living and working out of Tokyo in 2003, as far as my research can tell. They wanted a way to show off a space that they had, this amazing space that people could hire, and so they created these nights where these evenings where people would come and they give their presentations. But the format they had to give the presentations in were, they had 20 slides. They were limited to 20 slides, and each slide would automatically move on after just 20 seconds. So the whole presentation, start to finish, was 6 minutes and 40 seconds. And when I was in the shower, I thought it was a minute. I thought it was like a 60-second slide. But the kind of the idea of creating a talk that was made up of, say, 30 slides of 60 seconds each that just automatically progressed through, keeping my talk on track, keeping the delivery fast-paced and fluid, but essentially having 20 of those slides in the middle as ideas, isolated ideas for introducing more of the good stuff into your life, more well-being, more physical health, better mental health, more mindset strategies, nutrition tips and tricks, sleep hacks, productivity tips, just all the things that I talk about, all the things that kind of I know. Pick the top 20 over the kind of the 5 core elements of well-being: the nutrition, activity, mindset, recovery, and connection. Pick 5 or 4 of each, and just have at it for 1 minute of each. So just 1 minute on each of those things, and then the slide automatically transitions, and boom, you're into the next one. Now, I think that could be quite an exciting delivery format. And actually, if it was, well, it's got the potential there to be taken up to a 40-minute talk, an hour talk, or whatever. Just keep on adding more of these ideas to it. One of the big key ideas would have to be, it's not about just having more ideas, it's about what you do with them. And that would need to come pretty early on. I was kind of thinking about this, that actually if you have this, if you kind of go into a talk like this, I'm making things up as I go along now. But if you go into a talk like this, rather than getting people just to write down everything, to write down just the things that resonate with them, just the things that they visualize themselves doing, and then to give them the slide deck afterwards, they can record, they can kind of go back and have a look and see what they might have missed, but just focus on those things that leap out at them, that they're thinking, I could do that, because they're the things that they're actually going to do. Now, I think that's an amazing idea. I think think it's a brilliant idea. I think I'm going to have to test it out. I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to see. Well, I'm putting it out right now. Okay, what do you think? Is that a good idea? Anybody who's watching these videos, let me know. Yeah, I'm going to play around with that format, and I'm going to find out what the name for the original Pacha, Pichu, something like that. Anyway, whatever. That's my idea for the day, and I have had a couple of other things kind of progressing today. I had a really interesting conversation with somebody when I was at the Perch in Bicester just a couple of days ago. I was over there working, and I was introduced to a chap who he owns and manages an Anytime Fitness franchise, co-owns and co-directs. There's 3 of them. And they were having an away day meeting, and we had a brief conversation. And he emailed me yesterday, and I read it today, and it was basically kind of some interesting opportunities, some challenges that they're facing that I may well be well placed to help them with. Given my background, I've worked out of a fitness first gym as a personal trainer for the best part of a decade, and I've been doing what I'm doing for 15, 16 years. And now I'm all about getting people to do more of the things they already know how to do. People join gyms that don't necessarily go to gyms. They want to get more people actually using the gyms. I know, kind of novel for a gym operator to think like that, but they go, that's what they're doing. So there could be some very interesting kind of overlap there, or some synergy. So anyway, that was kind of a development for today, and I sent my contract off for the comparing emceeing at the charity walk in next month. So that's all going ahead. And that's all sorted out now as well. Other than that, that's my wrap up for the day. I'm actually quite tired. I was thinking coming onto this video, I don't really want to do this tonight. It's like gone 9 o'clock. I'm tired, and then remembered anytime I think I don't want to do the video is the same thing to me. It's the same thing as saying this girl's not important to you. And the moment I thought that, I mean, it was probably like a half a second I had that thought for. The moment I thought that, straight on, just right, what am I going to talk about today? What's happened today? And the presentation format thing was the first thing that sprung to my mind, but I think it's a good one, so I'm glad I led with that. Anyway, that's me for the day. Off for the weekend, and I've got some plans for the weekend, some kind of thinky plans, some specific things that keep me on track, because I realise at the weekends I don't normally have much structure, which is fine because it's the weekend, but just 10, 15, 20 minutes, there's stuff I can still do that will help with the whole process. So I've got some plans for that, which I'll talk about tomorrow. That's me for today. Third time I've said that. I'll check back in again tomorrow. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever you need to do, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.